there's lots of books on this stuff. Like we're totally able to like read, books on evolutionary psychology and know why things happen, why women think this way, why breakups happen, why cheating happens. Like there's reasons behind all this stuff, but we like to just say it's because they're just bad, like women are doing it. It's like, no, it's just their nature sometimes, man. Like I don't blame a woman that's not gonna act accordingly with a man if he's not being a man and he's not
most
being
men are men.
But I just interview these girls every week, bro, and I can't blame them because sometimes these guys are losers. And then I do blame them for, why are you choosing these losers? But dude, a lot of guys are not leaders today. And like like we put a lot of blame on women, but it's just like, man, it's really the guys, bro. If the guys were that guy, a lot of these women fall into line. Like if you are the type of guy that you're supposed to be, women want to be a woman. Like they want a family, they want to have kids. Like this is all naturally hardwired in them. Yes, our society and feminism like really brainwashes them and tries to think that they need to be a boss babe and stuff. But dude, it's not always like that.
Women, bro, you can't say both of those statements at the same time and try to make it make sense. You can't say women want to be women and then say all feminism and everything else made them not women. They're not
because brainwashing takes
while
years
saying
to happen.
that most men are just losers. Like
while saying at the same time most men are losers.
Yeah, man.
It's like what I hear you doing.
Bro. I speak nothing but
like what I hear is like you're taking these stories of women and you say read books on all of this, but you're taking the anecdotal experiences of these women and then saying that this is enough information to base whether or not most men are losers. When the fact is most men are hard-working men. Might not be the most athletic or talented, but most men are men. I think that we need to stop talking and saying things like this because it sounds good for YouTube, but for people who are out there really working, and let's say they ain't making six figures, but they work really hard. They've been driving the bus for 15, 20 years, or they've been at the mill. Like we love to say men built the planet while at the same time saying most men are not men because they're not doing a certain thing. It's like it's double talk. And I think we got to get to the place where the respect we have for men, is not based off of the amount of money. And then the biggest thing is quit basing your masculinity off of what women say that they want. Because a lot of women say that they want a particular kind of man and these characteristics, get bored and go cheat. So we got to have some honesty here. And while I do agree with reading books, there was nothing like life and lived experience. So you resource all you want to, but until you live life enough, it's just going to be we're quoting stats and quoting what other people experience. But in real life, most men are hardworking men and simply want a good woman who will appreciate that.
So how old are you again?
Purple Pill, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question, bro. So you interview people. So are they in your age range?
I do full panels of women anywhere from the age of 18 up. I've had a 48-year-old woman on, so 18 to 48.
Okay, and you said you interviewed
multiple women, all demographics.
And then the guys.
No, I only have women on. I only have women on. No, my panels are no.
Oh, so you only have women on. So then my next question is this: do you have a mentor and someone that helps you and talks to you about some of the things that you talk to? Do you have anybody?
I wouldn't be a business owner of 3 different businesses if it wasn't for mentors.
No, I don't need you to qualify it. It's just because I
totally get what you're saying right now, bro. And what you don't understand is you don't know anything about me, bro. Like I have some of the biggest mentors in the space.
I'm asking you questions. Stop being defensive. I'm asking you questions.
I'm trying to explain
and
let me answer them. You didn't even let me answer it. Yes, I have mentors. I have multiple. Yes, you didn't even let me answer it, bro. Let me answer. Yes, I have multiple mentors that own business. I have multiple mentors that own businesses. I have multiple mentors in the YouTube space. I have multiple mentors that teach mentorship programs. I also teach a mentorship. Okay, so yes, I do have multiple people above me, and I wouldn't be successful at anything that I do if it wasn't for me looking up to them, is what I was trying to say.
Okay, that's fine, bro. But can we all just get along?
Yeah, we can. No, like, what was your next? What was your next question?
Wait, I got a question. I got a question about Purple Pill.
Next question.
So just moments ago, as Eric was asking a question, you said, Eric, you don't know anything about me. But you just said of these women who you were interviewing have these stories about these dudes, you don't know them. Like that's the whole point that I'm trying to make. It's so easy when it's about you to say you don't know me, so you don't have any detail. But you were doing this. Listen, Purple Pill. Listen, what you're doing is what you don't want done to you, and that's what we keep on doing to men. We keep on saying most men are losers, and the truth is, you haven't talked to most men.
I mentor men. I know they're losers. See, this is why I want to ask you, sir. How old are you again? I am. I'll be 36 next month.
Jesus Christ.
You're gonna be 36 next month. Okay, so you're just a little bit older than me. My generation, bro, when I look around at my peers, there are a bunch of losers playing video games, especially
that's
the ones
false.
I went
I'm
to
in the
high
same
school
generation.
and all that. Okay, well
that's
great.
false. I'm in the same generation.
Aren't doing that. Okay, that's great. That's for your friends. Okay.
So but you got loser friends.
Everybody that I see, they're all yes. There's a lot of people from my grade.
That's your friends.
No. What
I don't have losers around me.
I don't have losers around me.
Look,
half of those
but you're basing your analysis off of the fact that you have a bunch of loser friends.
I don't understand how
you base your analysis on most men off of your circle of friends.
How could you sit here and say that there isn't a bunch of men that are addicted to porn, addicted to video games?
No, we didn't say that there's a bunch. We said that that's not most.
We said that's not most.
Important. No one said it's not a lot. No one said it's not a bunch. We're saying it's most men. That's a big word. Most men are not losers.
You got to understand that this all goes back to the financial capability of a man, because we were supposed to be providers.
But it's not all about money, Purple Pill. It's not all about money.
You keep going back to money.
And still be a lane. I'm just using your logic. I'm using your logic.
Because the reason why I keep bringing up the money is because it's all based off of the economy. Do you think that we were arguing over the devaluation of the dollar thousands of years ago? No, because it wasn't a thing. And the value's been devalued to a point where the women have to go to work. They put them into the workforce in the 70s to double the tax bracket so they would make more money off us, so the GDP would go up. Women are 80% of the consumer base. This all goes back to money. Like, the only reason why I sit here and say men need to be better is because the money. Yeah, it is all part of the plan. And the only way that we can fix it is by men stepping up as much as physically possible and being the best that we can fucking be. Men have to get better.
The problem with that ideology, right, is that you're associating, and this is a problem that I think we do nowadays. We associate the idea of masculinity with finances. So now if you can't provide finances, somehow you're not masculine, or somehow you're not a leader. And none of that even equates. Those aren't the same thing. And I feel like that's exactly what feminism wanted to do. The reason why feminism wanted to give women money was for the very purpose of being able to undermine you, because they're going to value the money more than they value your leadership. So I'm not understanding how that equates. I think
so the way that you reverse that is by making more money. That's why I'm trying to teach you. Make more. Guys need to be providers. You can reverse the issue. A woman falls into her role when a guy is in his role. Most guys, though, if even the guys with a bunch of money, they act like beta bucks losers. So, like, you can't just have money. You got to have money, have game, have frame, have muscles. You got to have all of it. You can't be a loser anymore. My biggest message is you just have to become the best you can be as a man today. You can't be average. If you want to be an average guy, be okay with your woman possibly cheating on you in the future. Be okay on all types of bad shit happening to you, because average isn't good anymore. Average isn't working.
Video, right? Everything we're talking about right now goes back to the video. In the video, the woman gave an example, right? And the example she used, I believe, was a religious example, where she's saying essentially whichever religious figure's wife that she was talking about had to follow him. And I feel like a lot of times we talk about leaders and we talk about like the results of leadership. So, okay, this guy's a leader and his leadership has caused him to be rich, powerful, all of that. But leadership, all in all, if we want to call it what it is just vision. And at the end of the day, the leader is the person who's blessed with the vision to be able to have the idea, to be able to see the future, right? And I feel like the real problem we're having with men today is not that a bunch of men are leaders. It's just that men do not have a lot of opportunities to actualize their visions, except through finances. So a lot of times, the reason why a man can't actualize his vision is because he has no followers. He has no one who believes in his vision to help his vision come through. He has no one to delegate the task to. It's not because he's lacking in some ability. It's just that he's not in the right position. I personally believe if you give any man on this planet, you put him in the right situation and you give him the right team, you'll see how good of a leader he can be. So I think a lot of it falls back on, like, we talk about men got to be leaders, men got to be leaders, men got to be leaders, but we're also training the women to be leaders. So who's being trained to be the followers? Everybody can't be leaders. You know what I'm saying? It's the same with like so many industries today, right? Music. Everyone's a musician, but how many people are listeners? How many people are just fans? And that's part of the problem. People don't even know how to be fans anymore. And that's why the music industry suffers. And it's the same thing with relationships. Forget talking about leadership. Do you know how to follow? Do you know how to be led? Are these women coachable, leadable? I don't care how good of a coach you are if you do not have players that are open-minded and moldable. It doesn't matter because you can't play the game as the coach by yourself. So the only way you can prove your coaching ability, right, is by having people who are obeying your rules. Now, people might say, "Oh, I don't like his style. He doesn't know how to coach." But if someone actually follows his vision through, then you'll see the results. And that guy who was seen as unorthodox and not a great leader, he's bringing home championships. Why? Because it took someone to trust his vision. So yes, we can continue to say that men need to lead and get more money and XYZ, but getting more money is not going to solve the problem. We love talking about money, but the reality is money is finite. You could say you may not want to believe that, but there's only so much money. When money is spent, someone has to let go of the money in order to give it to someone else. Money's not just this infinite thing, and everybody can't just get rich. So the reality is that being a good leader means that whether you got money or not, you know how to be a good steward over it. You know how to control it. You know how to run it. You know how to use it. We need to be teaching that a little bit more, but we also need to be talking about the lack of followers and the lack of people who are willing to listen.